Hello, everybody, and welcome to Life and Listings, where we talk about real estate, life, and everything in between. I'm your host, Agent Jay, and with me to my left is Mr. Brad Gray. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good, Jim. Thanks a lot.
Right on, brother, right on. So listen, this is our very first podcast, guys, so go gentle on us, okay? We're not professionals in this. We're just doing this for a bit of fun, basically. That's all we're doing anyway. So, Brad, listen, start off. Why'd you get in real estate, buddy?
I got in real estate. I've had many jobs in the past and all that. And as I started to progress in those, I realized I really enjoyed helping people. And I thought, why not help people with one of the biggest purchases in their life? So, I really enjoy helping people. Love that satisfaction you get when you see joy in their faces through something that they've done. And just figured take a leap and go into real estate after my last job fell through and that.
So what was your background before? Like before you got into real estate, like, you like to deal with a lot of people. So like, did you more have people type jobs or like, what did you do before?
I actually started off, I did marine environmental in school, went through the offshore industry here. You have a lot of camaraderie out there, meet a lot of people out there, but it's kind of clicky because, you're in that offshore group. Then I transitioned into the CRA, and that's when I really started to realize I love helping people. I was a taxpayer services agent, and
Oh, you were one of those.
I was one of those. Yeah. So people would call me for help with that, with their taxes, with other issues they're having with their account and all that. And I really enjoyed that. So that's when I realized I should probably do a job where I get to help people.
Yeah.
And my last one, I actually worked at Costco where people pack their groceries and all that. So love that job too, and got to meet all kinds of people out there, new faces every day pretty much. And I just thrived on that. So it was something I really enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's all about people anyway at the end of the day, no matter what you do, right? Well, for me, I was in the trades ever since I'm 13 years old. Uh, Done everything from building houses to painting and plastering to siding, whatever you could think of, basically, when it comes to a house I've done. So it was almost just a natural progression for me to get into real estate. So, and it was more about the people anyway. For me, it was always about meeting the people. I liked that better than the actual doing of the job. And it was just something that I was really into. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get into this. And a couple of my friends had it. They were in it. They were enjoying it. And they were like, man, you got to get into this. You'd really enjoy this. So I was like, yeah, why not? And again, that's my passion too, is helping people. I like to take people that honestly are somewhere where they don't know if they can get what they actually want, right? And then help them find what they want within their means and then make them happy at the end of the day. That's my thing too, right? So that's, why I'm in real estate anyway.
And you've been there basically from the ground up with housing. So got some insider knowledge around all that too.
Yeah, I like that. It's almost like a superpower, right? Like when I go in now looking at houses, I can look at a house from the way it's framed to the painting and plastering job to a window needed to be replaced or a door, stuff that you're looking for anyway as a buyer or a vendor or a seller, and tell you exactly how much that should be roughly to get cost, like to get it fixed or get done, what you should get done, how long you'd have to kind of how long or time frame you have before you have to get it done, stuff like that, right? So to me, it's a bit of a superpower. I enjoy that aspect of it anyway. But like I say, it's the talking and the people. And as you can tell, I love to talk.
You sure do.
That's
I
the way
like
it
it too
is.
when I get to know people, but I take a little bit longer to warm up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what makes it great.
yeah. And that's why we work so well, man. To be honest, because I can chat away and you'll listen for a bit and then I stop talking and you just jump on in. So how's it been so far for you? You've been in real estate now, what, about 3 months?
Yeah, it's been 3 months. It's not quite what I expected, to be honest with you, when you first got into it. I mean, people see the glamour of real estate. You think you jump in right away and it's just bang, bang, bang. Well, it's not that. It's with the market right now, it's been really slow. Even veteran realtors such as yourself have found it and all that, like compared to last year and stuff. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes you don't see, you don't realize that when you get into it. It's not just, oh, I'm a realtor now and you just start selling houses and all that.
Yeah,
It's you got to put a lot of work into it and build your brand, build your name up there and stuff.
yeah,
So
that's right. Yeah.
and our broker even told me the other day, he said it takes about 6 months before you get established as a realtor. So, it's not something you can just dive into head first. You got to
No.
be prepared for it and braced.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too. Like most people get into real estate, they see realtors driving around in nice cars and they see my trips and everything else. But what you gotta realize too is, guys, what you see on Facebook, that's not real. None of that stuff is really like very, very small amounts of that is real, right? A lot of that is basically showing you the positive sides of things. Nobody likes to put negative things out there anyway, post negative stuff, right? But there's kind of a filter you have to have there. You have to realize that a lot of that stuff is marketing, showing you the glitz and glamour, basically, of real estate, which is not all glitz and glamour, as you can tell now, Brad. But it's like this. At the end of the day, I've said it to you, and I said it to many people I know that wants to get into real estate. Many people think they're going to get in, and I know this guy who knows that guy who's selling the house, and he's going to use me. He
Yeah.
won't go nowhere else. Well, you'll be very surprised that a lot of people that know you don't take offense when they don't use you, because that probably is going to be the case. It's just the way that it is. Like you could be really good friends with them, but then when you look at their finances and you're going to have an insight on all of that, nobody really wants to be too in depth in that, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I mean, especially myself being a new agent, so not everybody has a veteran agent that they can lean on, like I've been leaning on you and that. So I could understand, even besides the financial aspect, where people would want to jump in with someone new and say to you, their first purchase. It's like, well, I want to buy a house. I want someone who knows what they're doing and all that, as opposed to, oh, well, here you are, brand new, new car smell realtor
Yeah.
and all that. So I wouldn't take against it at all anyway. I mean, everybody has their own ideas on everything and what they want to do and what they want to see. And I guess with no experience and all that, that's a bit of a downside as well. And people prefer to be private too, like you said, with the finances aspect of it. That
Yeah.
people just don't want close friends to know what their finances are.
No, no, especially nowadays too. I mean, everything's a little bit tighter nowadays, so people kind of keep the cards a bit closer to their chest, right? But at the end of the day, like I say, I mean, a lot of realtors, like I say, they think they're going to jump in and they're going to make money and have 50 grand made in 3 or 4 months. And then they're going to take the rest of the year off and do this, that, and everything else. At the end of the day, guys, it's not like that. You may be in this for, like Brad said, anywhere between 3 to 6 months, possibly even longer, depending on who you know and what your situation is, before you finally close a deal, right? It's the way that it is. And that doesn't make you any less of a success than anybody else. It's just people got different roads. Some people already have people set up before they get in. Some people don't. It's just the way that it is. Some people have to work a little harder to get out there and get to know people. Some people had a very closed circle when they were growing up. They had their 4 or 5 friends they hung around with. They really didn't socialize outside of that. That doesn't mean you can't succeed in real estate, but just be prepared that once you get into real estate, you may need between 6 and 8 months, of income, something on the side, perhaps even until you start to get more established, right? And that's the way that it goes. Because once you get an accepted offer on a house, whether you're buying end or the closing end, typically it's between 30 and 45 days, unless otherwise, that you get the closing and get paid on that house, right? And you get paid as a vendor before the buyer,
Yeah.
right? So, that's the way that that goes.
And well, to touch on that, it's like a lot of people come up to you now and it's like, oh, well, you haven't done much in the real estate industry. You should look for another job and do that. But I look at them and I say, my job is a realtor. It's not something you can do part time. I know there are part time realtors out there, but you have to dedicate yourself fully to this because it takes up a lot of your time. It's not just drumming up business. It's not just selling a home. It's not just buying a home for someone. There's so many things behind the scenes that people don't see where you have to try to market yourself and you just got to get out there. So even though I don't have any listings yet, it's still a full time job.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way that it is, man. I mean, like I say, usually there's an 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of the realtors make 20% of the money, and likewise, 20% of the realtors make 80% of the money. A lot of those 20% are full time realtors, if not all of them. I mean, nothing against the ones that can do it part time if they have a good career, and there's something that they're just doing as a passion on the side, and that's great too. To have those kind of realtors around is phenomenal. Nothing against them. But for me, I'm a very all in or all out kind of person as well.
Yeah.
And I believe that you've got to get in there and give it your all and just roll with the waves and it'll come to you. That's just the way that it is,
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Just got to,
Right. And it's not just sitting back like some people think it's just, I'm going to sit around now and, John knows me down the road. He sells, he'll let me know. John might not never sell. John might be like, you know what? I'm not using this guy. I know him, but I'm not going to use him. I'm going to go with this other realtor that's been at it for 20 years and he can really do that. Right.
exactly. And that's what I was talking about with the experience there. It's like, well, why am I going to use you? What makes you different? And at the end of the day, there's not much difference in all of us, even the veterans that are out
No, there's
20
not.
years, we're
No.
all trained the same way. We do the same training. We go to the same meetings,
Yeah.
everything. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
our personalities and stuff. We got to try to get that to shine through and
That's it. A
sell
lot of it.
ourselves on people.
Yeah, a lot of it is that. Like at the end of the day, you can go to any kind of car shop, right? You can go Honda, you can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. Even you can go to Mercedes, wherever you want. Yeah, the cars are different. Of course, then you got more of a luxury standard, right? But at the end of the day, it's got to be your personality that people click with. I can go in and meet with 15 different people. And out of the 15, there could only be 5 that really click with me. And at the end of the day, to me, I'd rather work with the 5 that understand how I am, trust the process, trust me, and click and vibe with me really well, rather than people that are going to be second guessing you and question you at every turn, right? You don't want somebody like that. At the end of the day, it's going to make your job harder. And no matter what you do, in some regards, you're never really going to make them happy. You know what I mean? Because they're always going to be like one step away from questioning everything you're doing and
Exactly.
hovering and making you feel bad, right? And there's nothing against people that are like that because there's some people that are very analytical,
Well, yeah, I mean,
right?
I'm a very analytical person. I'll sit back and look at a situation, all that, and try to come to a conclusion
Yeah,
based on that, And they say you can't judge a book by its cover, sort of thing. So that's why I'm analytical. I like to try to get in and get a bit more facts in that before I make a decision on stuff.
yeah,
But I mean, it's like with buying a home, there's not much analytics to that. People usually just see whoever's out there, whoever's in the face first, whatever brands they know. Same like you said with the car.
yeah.
There's not much difference in cars anymore, or even phones, and that it's just the brand is what you're going to go with, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 100%, 100%. And yeah, same thing goes with brokers as well, right? I mean, the thing about it is too, another tip, I always say to other realtors are going in there, interview your broker or your potential brokers, right? Don't just go with someone that's oh yeah, no, you get your test wrote and you're in. Like don't do that. Although that sounds like a great thing to have, and you should have a sponsor, of course. If somebody's going to sponsor you in, but just interview them. Like your ideals and your goals and aspirations may not line up with the broker that you're working with, right? And that's the way. And it's nothing against that broker because every brokerage I think here has multiple benefits to people, no matter who they are. Do you know what I mean? There's not really one brokerage over the other. It's just different things that they do. And I think all of them are phenomenal, to be honest. I don't think there's one brokerage that's not. It's all hardworking realtors.
Yeah, exactly. We're all out there doing what best we can. So
100%. But it's just where do you fit in? Like, where do your ideals fit in?
yeah,
Like, is it aligning with your goals? Like, do their ways of doing things align with the way you want to do it? Are they more technical? Are they more old school? Are they more door knockers? Are they more sending out flyers or doing emails? What do they do? Right? Are they community driven? Do they go and do things to the community? Is it more closed because they got corporations all over the place? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
brokers
no,
everywhere,
exactly.
just stuff like that, like, and that's another thing too. Like at the end of the day, find where you fit in and just be happy and grow there, right? But that's the way that is too. I mean, real estate is not rocket science. It's really not. There's a lot of jargon to it. There's a lot of different words to it. And to be honest, like this podcast is going to be a little bit about real estate, but it's not going to be all real estate
No,
because I
that'd
think
be
real
dull.
estate gets boring.
I mean, real estate's a part of all our lives, and that so
Yeah,
it'd be nice to touch on life outside real estate too, like what
absolutely.
we do out there.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like it gets at the end of the day, it gets boring. It does. Like the best part about it for me is meeting the people and then finding out what they want. And it's almost like I'm an investigator, right? Like I'm trying to solve the problem.
Yep,
So they'll say, oh,
it's
I
a
need
good
a house.
comparison, actually.
Yeah, right. Like I want to find a house with such and such and such. I need this, this, and this. Right. I mean, like, okay, fine. So then I'll say to them, okay, well, listen, I want three things from you. I want your needs, I want your wants, and I want your deal breakers. Right? How many bedrooms do you need? Do you have a family member with a physical disability and you need a wheelchair? Right? Stuff like that. Do you need, are you elderly and you need to have your laundry on the main floor? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once, do you want the bonus room? Do you want a man room? Do you want the garage, like I say, with a bonus room up top that you can have your friends over and do stuff? And your deal breakers is like, where would you not live? What kind of house do you not want?
Race.
Right? Like, what's something that would be like, you know what? I wouldn't even look at that. No, I'm not living downtown. That's too niche for me. And not gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Right?
there's neighborhoods in each city that have bad reputations that people won't want to live in. And
That's
then you
true.
have other people that might have grown up there. That's where their roots are. So that's where they do want to live. So,
Yep.
a deal breaker for one person is not a deal breaker for another. So,
No, 100%. And it's unfortunate when you see that, but I mean, that's all over Canada. It doesn't matter
oh,
where
yeah,
you
it's
are.
everywhere.
Or I mean, Newfoundland's a beautiful place. We got a lot of different sceneries that are absolutely gorgeous. Some of the best people in Canada you'll ever meet. Nicest as well. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's places that even the darkest fear to trade. It's just people. But at the same token, it's not like it's not that dangerous. It's not like something like, oh, I wouldn't drive down here, or you might not come back. It's not like that.
No.
It's just the way it is. I think Newfoundlanders are too nice for that kind of stuff, to be honest. The worst you'll get most times is like, get out of here, buddy, or give me a weird look or something, right? Or you're like, oh, not
100%.
going down there after 10 o'clock, so leave
Yeah.
that alone. Eh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you get a few fellas, we call them skeets every now and then. You'll get a few guys that you look at and you're like, yeah, he's a hard case. I want to go over there and have a chat with him. And you'll get the odd fella you're stood up downtown going for a walk with your family who walk over and say, hey, buddy, you got any change? You got either smoke? And you say,
Well,
no.
that's everywhere too, right?
Yes,
So,
it's the way that it is. I mean, it's becoming commonplace everywhere, right? Especially now in today's age. But,
yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day, it is what it is. But, well, let me ask you this now. Like, as a dad, how do you find real estate kind of affects you as a parent?
It's stressful right now,
Yeah.
three kids and all that. Got to put food on the table. Got a
Yeah.
mortgage to pay for ourselves. And if you don't have any listings, you don't have any income right now. So that's what we were touching on in the beginning there, where you got to have that little nest egg when you get into this. And as that nest egg starts to deplete and that, it adds more and more stress to you. So
Yeah.
it's not just all, like you said, it's not all the glamour of being a realtor and all that. But then, I mean, I love it being a realtor now too. When I worked my other jobs, it was some of them were 9 to 5, some of them were shift work. When I worked offshore before I had my children, I was gone for 3 weeks at a time. And with our weather here, like today is June 1st and it's snowing outside. With our weather here, that 3 weeks sometimes turned into 22, 23, 24 days
Yeah.
that you were gone. And then those extra days when you're offshore ate into your time off. It's not like, oh, well, you still get your 3 weeks off. However many days out there actually were, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Bonus of being a realtor now is even though my boss can be disagreeable sometimes, I don't know where our own boss is, but, but
Let's be honest. The wives are usually the
that's
biggest driving
true.
force. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But the best thing about it is we make our own schedules. I can work around the kids being in school. I can be home for their events. I can go to my son's basketball games. I can take my daughter to daycare. I can be home for birthdays, parties. We can go out and do stuff. If it's a bad day, we can stay home and do our thing at home.
Yeah.
It gives you that freedom for it. So, I mean, with the drawbacks of being nervous starting it, there's so many benefits to it too, where it's an ideal career for being a parent and all that. I get so much extra time home with my kids, which I wouldn't trade for the world.
That's right, 100%. And I'm like that. That's just one of the main reasons why I want to get into real estate is it opened me up to be able to be here for the kids. I got kids that have asthma and other things as well. So if anything ever happened and I had to leave, I mean, obviously I can't just leave. And if I'm at a 9 to 5 job, I just can't look at the boss and be like, okay, I got to go now. I got to go
Yeah.
drop off a puffer to my little guys having an asthma attack. I mean, it worked for the first couple of times, but if it became a problem, well, then you're not gonna say yes to it, right? Or they don't have someone to cover you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many times in the past 3 months when we've been working together have we had to just go out on the streets, marketing and all that, and then all of a sudden we get a call and it's like, oh, we got to go to school and pick up one of our children.
Yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
there's that.
And it happens. And you know what? Like if your spouse or your significant other is working a full-time job, then, you have to be that parent, right? You got to be that guy that, or woman that can be there and be like, you know what? I can drop off the kids. I can pick them up. They need to be picked up. Something goes wrong, or if there's something special and they got like a concert, like that's one of my favorite things. I can go to the concerts. I feel very blessed, right? Because I can go to the concerts. I can see the kids and what they're doing. I can watch them grow. I've got that opportunity that a lot of people other than me don't have. And
Yeah,
that makes me feel really blessed, man, honestly. And same thing goes with the real estate game too. I feel blessed that I get to help people find houses that they're going to make memories in. Like I
yeah.
become part of their memory.
That's what I was just going to say. A lot of people looking to upgrade our families as well, so you can connect with them on that aspect.
Yeah,
Now, there's people from all walks of life buying houses too, but I feel as a dad and the joy I get in helping people, knowing that it's a family I'm helping, even if it's not a family, I should say. But when it is a family, I feel that connection to them and that, like you say, where they can make memories in this home. So,
absolutely. And you want to do the best you can for anybody you work with, but you kind of resonate more with a family when you realize how tough it can get and how hard it is looking for houses these days. I mean, guys, right now the market in real estate here in Newfoundland, it's up and down, right? Like for some realtors, it's that has things before it's really busy, right? However, for the vendors or the sellers, it seems a bit easier now. And the reason for that is we have these new sellers directions they're called that came in. So basically what that does, and we're going to talk some jargon too. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them. And I will be very honest. One thing about myself and Brad is I am not your realtor that's going to smoke and mirrors you. I'm going to be very honest with everything that's coming my way. You have a question, whether it makes the real estate community look bad or not, or otherwise or sideways. I don't really care at the end of the day. I'm just going to be honest and shoot straight, tell you the way that it is. And, these sellers directions, in my opinion, right now, they give you 3 to 4 days, guys, to get all your viewings in, right? And then at the end of those 3 or 4 days, everybody puts their offers in, right? I mean, I think up in Manitoba and other places, it's called offering.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
call
it's
offering.
called.
Yeah. We were talking to another real estate agent as well up along. She may be on the podcast one of these days.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, she's really awesome. But thing is, like I say, I mean, it kind of takes the negotiating power out of the hands of the buyers, and that's the one thing I don't like. It's great for the vendors because it's less hassling. Like they only got those 3 days. where they have to have everything done, and that sounds great. That's great.
But it creates a scramble on the buyer's end, and it basically ties your hands.
Yep.
I mean, you gotta get it in at that point. There's limited time for viewings and all that, and then they're saying, "Oh, we're only accepting offers over these 5 hours,"
Mm,
and then everybody wants to wait till the last minute with their offer, and so you know what you're competing with, and
mm.
it just takes all your power away, so yeah.
It's almost like a waiting game, right? At the end of the day, then it's almost like whoever sneaks in last, knowing there's 3 or 4 offers, may have the best chance at it. So everybody's trying to do that, and it makes buyers kind of disgruntled and disheartened, you know, because they don't know. They're like, like, okay, I'm going to go $25,000 over, and now 6, 7 years ago, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, whatever.
But now it's like we've seen the market go 50, 70, $100,000 over, and no home inspection, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's I don't understand people waiving a home inspection. I would never do that. It's like the analogy you made. What was it about a car?
Yeah. So if you go and buy a used car, you wouldn't buy a used car without turning it on, make sure it works. You take it off the lot, and all of a sudden you open up the hood, and there's a family of raccoons staring at you. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
right,
way that it is, right?
yeah, yeah.
You don't know what you got. Like, the thing is, you got to get a home inspection. Your house could be brand new. It doesn't mean that it's built sufficiently. It doesn't mean that everything is proper and there's no issues with it ever. It could have anything happen. So a PCDS, or a property
Especially in
condition
this market.
statement, yeah, disclosure statement, that's good too. That's for the last 5 years. I mean, you can go ahead and do that. They'll tell you any problems you got for the last 5 years, any upgrades they made. That's great. But then having that home inspection is the way to go, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're not gonna buy something without inspecting it first, or any product you're gonna buy, you don't just jump in and look at it without looking at reviews. So why waive a home inspection? If that's the difference in you getting a home and not getting it, well, it wasn't meant to be. I've never go into a home without an inspection.
No, no. You always got to cover your bases. Not think that waiving a home inspection to get a house is not going to help you whatsoever. It's just not going to be your friend. It's going to be something that's going to be to your detriment, and that's it. So that's the state of the market right now. I mean, we're seeing fewer listings right now. I mean, the first quarter was really quiet, and now it's starting to kind of pick up a bit going into the summer months. And I'm
Well,
anticipating, yeah, in summer
if
months.
we can call this summer.
Well, I mean, it's June and it's snowing.
I think that's been playing a big part in the market here too. It's just we had such a harsh winter and it was such a long winter that people just weren't in the mindset of wanting to sell yet. Now that it's supposedly warming up and all that, I think the market will also warm up along with that. But you don't see people that just don't want to be in their homes anymore from the winter and all that. Sick of it. Like, for instance, my parents, they're talking about moving because they have nowhere to put the snow.
Yep.
And then they're getting up in age, so they're talking about selling a home and all that. So hopefully there's more people like that. Hopefully the market warms up now as our temperatures rise.
I hope so too. As the temperatures go up, hopefully the market keeps on going and gets better and better and more busy. And I mean, that's what we're looking for. So, guys, basically, this is the way our podcast is going to be. It's going to be a bit of real estate, a bit of jargon, but we're also going to talk life. We're going to talk things that's going on. We might even slip in some sports. You don't know what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah, I love
It's going to be like a variety show. Life and listings. It's not just realtor talk. It's life and listings. That's the way we're going to do it. So we'd love for you guys to stick around. This is just our very first one. So it was just like an introduction to us, what we're doing, what we're looking to do. We're hoping that you guys get something out of this anyway. If you have any questions or anything else, certainly let us know. This is going to be a short one because basically we're just kind of testing it right now to see where it's
Yeah,
going.
yeah, just as a demo, hopefully we can get it out there. And if there's anything you want us to cover, feel free to leave us comments and all that. We'll try to read them all. Don't know how big it's going to get, but we'll definitely look at them in that. And if there's anything you want covered, let us know. We're more than open to do that for you guys as well.
Yep, absolutely. We are going to be a podcast for the people as well. So you guys are going to have just as much control as we do. Anything you want covered, let us know. Anything that you're interested in or have any questions about, let us know, guys, and we can make sure that we get it addressed. And yeah, so this is our very first one. We're going to shoot one again, I'd say tomorrow. So we're hoping to do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It might be an everyday thing as well. I'm not sure. But also, if you're on TikTok, we got one we just started up as a little joint thing called Teas and Coastlines. Very, it's going to be kind of like funny and stuff like that as well. Same as this. It's not going to be formal. I don't believe that everything needs to be, so formal, guys. Like, you should have fun with real estate, even though it can get stressful. I think that the more fun you have in it and the less stress you have, the more of a better experience you're going to have. It's the way that it is, right? Yeah, everything. Yeah, you take it seriously, but taking it too seriously can ruin it for you too.
Right. Yeah, there's a difference in being serious and formal.
Absolutely, absolutely. That doesn't mean that we're not going to cover all of our bases. Trust me, I'm very, 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 very formal when it comes to contracts. Got to make sure everybody's covered and everything's done properly. You don't want no issues. But anyway, that's our first one. We're just going to cap it off here. It's only about 25 minutes or so just to see what it goes like and what you guys think. And like I say, any questions, let us know. Any comments, write them down. We'll check them out. And stay tuned. We got lots of good stuff coming.
Thanks a lot for listening. Bye.